Alright guys, owner-operator shenanigans. I even got a tank top on today because it is hotter than the bowels of hell down here in the southern Midwest and the South. So if you don't live here, you're lucky. We're talking heat indexes of 110, maybe an easy day of 105. It just won't quit, man. It's been like this for too long. We need a break. But there is no rest in the owner-operator game. It's something company drivers just don't understand. I am 911. And I got things that need fixed this weekend, and they just got to get done. Heat or no heat. And worse than that, I am in a lot of pain. I twisted my back. Can't hardly move. But you got to be tough. There's no days off, man. There's no days off. I'll be out here 3 or 4 hours today, and I'll get a half day off tomorrow. I'll get a half day off. The rest I'll be doing something out here, paperwork. It just never quits. But thank God for my wife. She's just gracious, and she's far better than I deserve. You guys think I'm the star of the show? No, Jesus is the star of the show, and she's the star of this deal. She keeps it together when I want to quit sometimes. So she's out here because she won't let me be out here alone. She's afraid I'm not going to be able to get up or something. And she doesn't want me to have to get up off the ground and go get tools because I can't hardly move. So she's showing me compassion and mercy that I don't deserve. I get it from her and I get it from Jesus. I don't deserve it from either one, but I'm so thankful for both of them. So we're going to get going, and I'll just take you along for the painful hot ride this weekend. We got a lot of things on the list here. I doubt I'm going to get them all done. I got to get a couple of them done. And I got a vibration in the truck, and man, I thought there was something major wrong. And I came home, I was able to get to my mechanic and take him for a ride. And he doesn't know for sure, but he guessed cab mounts, of all things. But every time I would let off the throttle, I'd get like a bad vibration. And when I'd accelerate again, same vibration right at my feet. Now the transmission, if you guys follow, is all new clutch, new everything. He just checked the U-joints. Could be a U-joint. I mean, a new transmission, it could be going out. But just from him riding around with me for a few miles, he took a little time out of his day. Sorry about the shaky camera. And he thought, you know what, that feels like a cab mount, but bring it to me Monday. He shows me grace I don't deserve, because if you call him, he'll tell you to come in a couple weeks. But we're kind of friends away from work too, so he shows me mercy. But I told him, hey, I have cab mounts sitting on the bench over here that I ordered months ago from 4 states, and I just ain't got around to putting them in. So I've never done cab mounts, so we're gonna try it. It looks pretty easy. I said, oh, I'll do my best to switch these out and take it for a ride. And if that is it, I won't bother you Monday and I'll get back to work. If it's still doing it, well, hold on. If it's still doing it, then I'll bring it up Monday and you get under there and check U-joints. I could crawl under and check U-joints too, but I'll tell you guys, I'm hurting bad. I don't know if I want to get under there. I may not be able to get back out, and I'm too big to have my wife pull me out of there. So we have some other things. I got an exhaust bellow that cracked on me. I got to fix that today. I'm in the middle of an oil change, but just follow me along, man. Owner operator life sure is fun. We flip this around and show you what we're working with, and see what we can do. I know you guys have asked to film step by step. That's almost impossible for me. There's the bride. She's out here babysitting me. But we'll see what we can do. All right, hold up. All right, guys, I do my own oil change. If you go to a truck stop, they charge you $400 to $500 for an oil change. It cost me about 160 bucks, I think. I buy the oil. Usually I get it in 5-gallon buckets, but they didn't have any. And I got a gallon of Lucas sitting out there. Now my engine only has 100,000 miles. I only run Lucas in the bad heat, and it does seem to help. Or if you got an engine with a lot of miles, it's a pretty good product. It'll bring your oil pressure up and stabilize your oil. I don't run it in the winter because I don't want my oil that thick in the winter. So I usually run it June, July, and August, and that's about it. So anyways, I buy that at Walmart. Usually I buy 2 5-gallon buckets. but they didn't have any. So what I do last night when I got in, or yesterday afternoon, this is a cheap one, but it's a big rolling oil pan, and it's got a pump on it. You can see that pump's actually leaking a little bit. Anyway, so I can pump the oil out of that. So I roll that under there. I got a quick drain valve. Let me zoom in on that. Okay, I just crack that valve and let her drain. Now I vent it up here. I pull the dipstick halfway out, and I pull the cap off, but I put a rag over. I don't know why. I don't know what could get in here. I just don't want nothing to fall down in there, right? It'll still breathe through that rag. And I just let it sit overnight. And then I'll change the filter today and fill it back up. Pretty easy. Cost me less than 200 bucks. Way cheaper than a truck stop. I pump the oil back into the containers or the buckets, and I got these old guys that clean me out, man. They come and get it for burning their brush piles, so I never have oil. And if they didn't do it, I could take it up to my mechanic and dump it in his recycle thing. He's cool with that. Anyway, I do my oil changes every 15,000. So when you hear fleet maintain, that means they're changing the oil at every 50, 60. I heard JB Hunt's up to 75,000. I wouldn't want one of those trucks. That's why engines, between the emissions crap and high interval oil changes, you're lucky to get 500,000 out of a motor, where I got $1 million out of this one before we rebuilt it. 985,000. Would have won $1 million, but just because timing, we had it rebuilt. But it would have easily went. She was burning oil, about a gallon a week. She was tired, and I didn't do rods and mains at 500, and I should have. But this truck, if I'm still in the game, at 500,000, we'll drop the oil pan. You can put rods and main bearings in from the bottom, and it's not that expensive. All right. That way, it decreases your chances of spinning a bearing and tearing up a crank, because then you got a real expensive rebuild. So let me finish this oil change up, and then we'll get to the exhaust bellow. All right, exhaust bellow is basically like an accordion. It flexes around, so when you shut the truck on and off, it takes up that vibration. If not, you'd be cracking exhaust pipes. These don't last forever. The one that's on here I put on about 4 years ago, I can't remember. And it has cracked, so it's time for a new one. I like to leave this plastic on while I'm finagling it in there, and then take it off. That way I don't cut the mesh and all that. So first I thought, what in the world? I thought they forgot to give me the bolts. Usually these go through and you put a little a nut on it. Now this is redesigned where it just screws in there. Now, I don't know if that's going to be easier or not, but we're going to try it. And we might not even tear up the old ones and reuse them. So it comes with that. It comes with these washers you put on here, right? Exhaust gaskets, seal everything up. So I'm going to get to work getting the old one out. Set it over here and make sure it's the same size, which it should be. I got this from Peterbilt with a Kenworth part number. Same thing goes on a Peterbilt, just different part numbers. And this is the TRP brand, right? Whatever that's called. It's about 300 bucks. Or what was it, 275? 275, I guess. All right, let's crawl under there and get to work. All right, guys, it's kind of hard to see down here, but that's a downpipe from the turbo. There's the exhaust bellow, and it goes and hooks to the exhaust pipe. So I got to reach up in there and get that bolt undone, and then get the bottom one done and wiggle this thing out of here. Not much to see. Ain't rocket science. I can't do a step-by-step, but you undo those clamps and pull it out of there, put the other one in. I'm sure there's videos that make this process look like it takes 2 minutes, but it never works that way for me, so let's see what we can do. What do you think, guys? Time to replace it? Completely blown out. Thank God for my wife, man. She got under there and helped me out. I'd have been there for hours trying to get this miserable sucker out of there as bad as I'm hurting. So now we got to finagle the new one in. It's going pretty smooth with the help of her. All right, just showing you that. We'll show you when we're all done. All right, guys, with the help of the wife, thank God for her, I got the new exhaust bellow mounted in. I used the old clamps, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. Pretty easy job. All right, I didn't use these because on here on the bench, no problem getting that to go in that hole and thread in, but it moves around, and when you're laying under there under your back and at a bad position, good luck with that, trying to get that started. Much easier to just push it through and put the nut on the way we've done it forever. So I'll throw these over there. I don't throw nothing away. I mean, I put them down here in my pile. Might use them someday. All right, let's try some cab mounts. As much as this sucks, I mean, I got a fan, I'm inside, I'm not in the sun. God is good. What a blessing. And I got my beautiful wife helping me. In fact, if it wasn't for her, I'd still be under there cussing. All right, one chore down, off to the next one. Owner-operator life, isn't it fun? All right, guys, 3 hours later, man, we've struggled. We broke boards. I had to jack the cab up, and it feels like something's gonna break and pop and scared me half to death. I even was gonna try to take that bracket out. What a mess, man. We finally got this cab mount out. We're gonna put the new one in. And call it good, I guess. What an absolute mess. I still got to do the other side. My buddy said this job's easy. I want to throat punch him because I've struggled. In fact, I had to go over and take the fairings off the other side because I was digging in so bad. In fact, I scratched my fairings up pretty good. My chicken lights were digging in over there. I didn't realize what was holding it. All right, I'm gonna put this in. We're gonna lower this back down because my wife is just freaking out about this whole deal. They make it look easy on YouTube, but that has not been my experience. So cab mounts suck on a 660. See you, bye. All right, guys, if you do it, self-explanatory, but don't miss the little nub that goes in a hole right here, and then you lower the cap back down onto the mount. All right, so we're gonna get that done. We're almost there. This side's a lot better. I got my scissor jack out of my wife's expedition in there on an impact gun. We're almost enough. We just go real slow. And I got to get this to where I can just turn it. See that? Okay. When I got to go about another inch and that'll turn sideways and I can slide it out, slide the new one in. We're just taking our time. And I'm going to do it quick and set it back down, so I'm not going to do another video here. I'll show you when I'm done. It's kind of nerve-wracking lifting this cab, hoping we don't break any airlines or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and get her done. Alright, guys. Whew, the sun is going down and I'm done, man. It's 7:30. I'm not done, but I can't do no more, man. I'm out of gas. It's been a rough day. Blood, sweat, tears, cut my finger. This is how Gen X, this is how we fix things. Little electrical tape and paper towel and we keep moving. Don't have to go lay on the couch and look for a safe space to heal our finger. We keep moving. Thank God for my wife, man. I was gonna take her out to dinner. She just wants to go get takeout and bring it home, so she's doing that. I'm like, hey, whatever you want to do, princess. She really helped me today. I would have really struggled. There's just blood all over the floor. I'll pressure wash that off tomorrow. Thanks for riding along. Got the bellow in. I just ran the truck. I think I shot a little clip of that. Make sure it wasn't leaking. And we're mixing up the oil and Lucas. Got the cab mounts in. Oh man. Now that I've done it, it would be a lot quicker the next time, but man. The driver's side one took hours. The passenger side I did in like 10 minutes. Because I was nothing in my way. I could shove that scissor jack in there and knock it out. got some other stuff to do, but I don't know if I'll get to it this weekend. I'm gonna wash the truck tomorrow, hook the trailer up, take it for a drive, and see if the cab mounts did indeed fix my vibration. If they did not, it's going to the real mechanic Monday for him to crawl under there, check gear joints, see what is going on. Let's hope the cab mounts. He thought it was the cab mounts. Couldn't be 100% sure, but he goes, man, I feel that in my feet. And it feels like the cab mounts are gone. And they were gone, they were shot. Now that I have the new ones in there, I can see, wow, it sits up like an inch higher. It's a big time difference. So it's pretty much riding down right on the frame. So, all right, guys, I'll show you these other things I'm gonna put on. If I do that tomorrow, I'll make another video, but I don't think I'm gonna get to that. I gotta put a mud flap on the trailer. Blew another recap number 6. I'll put a picture of that, and it didn't blow, but the cap came off. Hate them. I hate them. All right, y'all, God bless you. I'll show you these cool little Crossfire deals I got laying over here. I've been wanting to put them on, and I ain't got to it. I was gonna do that this weekend, and then this is how it goes, man. Owner-operator life. You have a list you never get done, and you get to work 7 days a week. Ain't it great? All right, let me show you this, and then I'm gonna go and take a shower and call it a day. I am out of gas. My back did loosen up a little bit. Took a bunch of ibuprofen this morning, and moving around loosened it up, and I'm sure I'm gonna feel all this tomorrow. All right, guys, God bless you. There's the old cab mounts out of there. And these are those Crossfires. Some of you have seen them, but basically it hooks your duals together, and you can air it up in one spot right here. But better than that, I gotta remember, I think when it's yellow or black, or I don't know, it's at the right pressure. This will change a different color if it's low or high. Of course, it'll be high when it's hot, but you check them when it's cool. Then it'll tell you if it's more than 10 pounds too much, over 100, or if it's down to 90. And if you blow a tire or one starts leaking, watch the videos. These have valves in them, they shut them off. It's a great product, been around for 20-something years or more, maybe 30 years. One of the things I hate is airing up the duals, man. I can't hardly get my hands in there. I thought the light was on. That's just the shop light. I thought the camera light was on. Getting my big old fat hands in there to get the valve stem caps off. This is gonna save me a lot of work. We get to that, I'll do a little video on that. All right, guys, have a great weekend. God bless you. Bye now. Hey, this is not that important, but I forgot to mention it. I'm tired, so. You don't have to do it, but when I run the Lucas, I dump in 5 gallons of oil, dump the gallon of Lucas in, and put the other 5 in. You have to do that? I don't know. But I don't want the oil pump to just try to suck straight Lucas. But my thought is put a little oil in there and it'll kind of mix, and then I don't let it sit. I start it up right away and run it for 10-15 minutes and let it mix it all in there. I don't know if you have to do that or that even does anything. That's what I do. All right, guys. Done. Stick a fork in me. Bye now.